Have you ever come across a 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin and just tossed it aside, thinking it's not worth much? Well, that little coin might just flip your fortune. Some people are unknowingly sitting on coins that collectors would pay big money for. So, if you've got this coin, stick around till the end of this video, because what we're about to discuss might just turn the tables for you. And at the end, I'll tell you exactly how you can check its value and even sell it. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Let's start with a little background. The Susan B. Anthony dollar coin was first minted in 1979. It was a big deal, the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical woman, Susan B. Anthony, a pioneer of women's rights. That alone makes this coin historically significant. But the original design had some issues. The coin was roughly the same size and color as a quarter, which led to confusion in daily transactions. People didn't like it, and by 1981, production stopped. Fast forward almost 2 decades, and in 1999, the U.S. Mint brought it back. Why? There was a sudden demand for dollar coins, particularly from public transit systems and vending machine operators. The government needed a quick solution before the Sacagawea dollar was introduced in 2000, so they reissued the SBA dollar for one final year. So that makes 1999 the last and final year the Susan B. Anthony dollar was ever minted. And whenever something is a last edition, collectors start to pay close attention. There are 3 versions of the 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar. 1999p, minted in Philadelphia. 1999d, minted in Denver. 1999p proof, minted in San Francisco, but only for collectors. Now here's the thing, the regular 1999p and 1999d coins were made for circulation. You could find them in change or bank rolls. But the 1999p proof, that one was never released into circulation. It was made for special collector sets only. And because of that, the proof coins are often in near-perfect condition. Combine that with limited production numbers, and you've got a coin that collectors are actively seeking. Now let's talk about what makes a 1999 SBA dollar valuable. First condition. If your coin is beat up or heavily circulated, it probably won't fetch much more than face value. But if it's in brilliant uncirculated condition, or even better if it's been graded MS66, MS67, or MS68 by a professional grading service, the value can jump significantly. Second mint mark. Proof coins from San Francisco are usually worth more due to their rarity and quality. Even uncirculated coins from Philadelphia or Denver can be valuable if they're in high grades. Third, error coins. Here's where it gets interesting. Some 1999 SBA dollars have minting errors like off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or doubled dies. These rare mistakes can boost a coin's value from a few dollars to hundreds, even thousands in some rare cases. So don't just glance at your coin, look closely. A small error could mean a big payday. But here's the catch: values can change frequently depending on market trends, collector demand, and auction results. Which is why it's important not to assume always get an updated price. Now, if you're thinking about selling your 1999 Susan B. Anthony coin, you might be wondering, where do I sell it? Should I get it graded first? Is eBay the best option? What if it's an error coin? And I've got answers. But I'm not going to give them all away right now. But here's the deal, if you really want to know the current value of your coin and how you can sell it for maximum profit, then drop a comment below with 1999 SBA price, and I'll reply with the latest value and the selling procedure step by step. When you do, I'll personally reply with the latest value based on your coin's condition, whether or not it's worth grading, and the step-by-step method to sell it for maximum value. Where the 1972 Kennedy half dollar is a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike. While millions were minted, certain rare varieties and errors have elevated its status, making some specimens highly sought after and extremely valuable. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is the no FG variety. On the reverse side of the coin, just to the right of the eagle's tail feathers, the initials FG represent the designer, Frank Gasparro. However, in some 1972D, Denver minted, coins, these initials are absent due to over-polished dies. This omission has led to the no FG designation, making these coins particularly desirable among collectors. The absence of the FG initials might seem like a minor detail, but it significantly impacts the coin's value. Collectors prize anomalies that result from minting errors, especially when they are as visible as the missing initials on the 1972D Kennedy half-dollar. This variety stands out as one of the most notable errors in the Kennedy half-dollar series. In terms of valuation, the 1972D no FG Kennedy half-dollar commands impressive prices, especially in higher grades. For instance, a specimen graded MS-63 by a reputable grading service sold for approximately $2,485 at auction. This price reflects the coin's rarity and the demand among collectors for such unique pieces. While the no FG variety is the most renowned, other factors can influence the value of a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Coins with exceptional luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details are graded higher and, consequently, are more valuable. The grading scale ranges from 1 to 70, with mint state, MS, coins graded 60 and above. A standard 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in MS-66 grade, for example, has fetched nearly $2,900 at auction. The composition of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar also plays a role in its collectability. Unlike the 1964 version, which was struck in 90% silver, the 1972 edition is composed of a copper-nickel clad, with 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper center. This change in composition was due to the rising cost of silver and the need for more economical coinage materials. Beyond the no FG variety, collectors also seek out other errors and anomalies in the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar series. Die clashes, off-center strikes, and double dies are among the errors that can increase a coin's value. For instance, a 1972D Kennedy half-dollar with a die clash error, where the designs from the obverse and reverse dies are impressed onto each other, can be worth significantly more than its face value. The allure of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar isn't solely based on its errors. The coin serves as a poignant reminder of President John F. Kennedy's legacy. Introduced shortly after his assassination in 1963, the Kennedy half-dollar was met with widespread public enthusiasm, symbolizing the nation's respect and admiration for the late president. For those interested in collecting the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, it's essential to be vigilant about counterfeit or altered coins. The popularity of the no FG variety has led some unscrupulous individuals to modify standard coins to appear as though they lack the initials. Authenticating coins through reputable grading services ensures their legitimacy and helps maintain the integrity of one's collection. In the realm of numismatics, the thrill often lies in the hunt. Many collectors have stories of discovering rare coins in the most unexpected places. Some have found the elusive 1972D no FG Kennedy half-dollar in rolls obtained from banks or even in loose change, underscoring the idea that treasures can still be found in everyday transactions. The market for Kennedy half-dollars remains robust, with collectors continually seeking high-quality specimens. While the 1972D no FG variety stands out, even standard 1972 Kennedy half-dollars in superb condition can command impressive prices. This enduring interest speaks to the coin's historical significance and the fascination it holds for numismatists. For those new to coin collecting, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar offers an accessible entry point. Its rich history, combined with the potential to discover valuable varieties, makes it an appealing choice. Resources abound for budding collectors, from online forums and guides to local coin clubs where enthusiasts share knowledge and experiences. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar exemplifies how a combination of historical context, minting anomalies, and collector interest can elevate a coin's status and value. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious newcomer, the story of this coin serves as a testament to the enduring allure of coin collecting. Every so often, a single coin from a massive mintage manages to stand out in the most extraordinary way. That's exactly the story of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. While hundreds of millions were struck, it's the subtle variations and rare minting errors, like the NIFC, that elevate this coin from common to legendary. And the excitement it generates today is just as strong as when the series began nearly 6 decades ago. Collectors often underestimate just how rare a pristine 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with a strong strike and full luster really is. Coins from this era were not always carefully handled by the mint. Many were struck with worn dies, loaded into bags with minimal care, and banged around in transit before reaching circulation. So finding one in true gem condition is far more challenging than it seems. It's not just about mint errors or missing initials. Sometimes, the surface of the coin itself tells the story. Toning, the result of how a coin's metal reacts with air over time, can create spectacular rainbow effects or deep, rich coloration. Some 1972 half-dollars with eye-catching toning have brought jaw-dropping premiums at auction. For many collectors, unique toning is just as desirable as a rare variety. Now let's talk about that one very special 1972 Kennedy half-dollar that stunned the numismatic community when it sold privately for a record-breaking $190,000. What made it so valuable? Not just rarity or condition, but a perfect storm of features: flawless preservation, dramatic luster, a known and coveted variety, and provenance from one of the most respected collections in the world. That sale lit a fire in the community, because if one exists, more could be out there. One often overlooked area of collecting is mint sets and proof sets. While the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar wasn't struck in silver for circulation, the San Francisco Mint did produce 40% silver versions in special collector sets. These coins are easy to miss and often dismissed, but they contain silver and can be quite valuable, especially in high-grade deep cameo condition. Among seasoned collectors, one of the most fun challenges is cherry-picking, a term that refers to finding rare varieties hidden among common coins, often unnoticed by sellers. There are stories of people finding 1972 NIFC Kennedy half-dollars in dealer bins labeled junk silver or in unsearched rolls bought online. It's like hunting for treasure, and every successful find is a small triumph. Social media and YouTube have created a new generation of coin collectors. Creators like Blue Ridge Silverhound, Couch Collectibles, and Treasure Town have helped people learn how to identify errors like the NIFC. They show viewers how to use a loop, what to look for in the eagle's tail feathers, and how to tell genuine from altered. Their videos have millions of views, and they've made numismatics cool again. And speaking of cool, the Kennedy half-dollar design remains one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage. The profile of JFK on the obverse is bold and elegant. It captures both the youth and power of the man it honors. The reverse, with the presidential seal and the heraldic eagle, is just as powerful. Together, they make the coin not only a piece of currency but a work of art. What many don't realize is how influential public sentiment was in the creation of the Kennedy half-dollar. After the assassination, there was a huge push from the American people to memorialize President Kennedy. Congress fast-tracked the legislation, and by early 1964, the coin was already in circulation. It was more than just currency, it was national healing, struck into metal. Back to 1972, the coin's mintage that year was nearly 300 million across Philadelphia and Denver. That's a massive number. But remember, the more coins you strike, the more likely mistakes will happen. The 1972D NIFC is just one example. Who knows how many other subtle variations exist that haven't even been catalogued yet? This is part of the thrill. New discoveries are still being made today. The hunt for these coins isn't just limited to dealers or old collections. Many people search rolls from banks or even sort through coin jars at home. It's still possible, right now, to find a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar that's worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's what makes this hobby so exciting. It's not about what you spend, it's about what you find. There's also growing interest in Kennedy half-dollar registry sets, collections registered with PCGS or NGC that include every date and mint mark in the highest possible grade. These sets are incredibly competitive, and collectors will pay top dollar to upgrade just one coin. That means a top-grade 1972 Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a nice coin, it could be the missing piece in someone's million-dollar set. Some collectors focus on the coins themselves, while others go deep into the packaging. Mint sets from 1972 with original government packaging and pristine coins can be highly collectible in their own right. Especially if they haven't been opened for decades, because sealed original mint sets might contain undiscovered NIFC varieties or proof-like strikes. Proof versions of the 1972 Kennedy half were minted only in San Francisco, and they often come with a deep cameo finish, bright, mirror-like fields and frosty design elements. These coins, especially in PR69 DCAM or PR70 DCAM, are visually stunning and command strong prices. While they don't have the NIFC error, their sheer visual impact makes them favorites among display collectors. There's also strong crossover appeal in Kennedy half-dollars. Because of JFK's enduring popularity, these coins are collected not just by numismatists but by presidential memorabilia collectors, history buffs, and patriotic collectors. The emotional connection to the man on the coin gives it a deeper resonance beyond just metal and mint marks. In recent years, a growing number of investors have entered the coin market, looking for hard assets that can appreciate in value. Coins like the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, with their historical importance, high-grade examples, and dramatic errors, are increasingly being seen as investment pieces. They're tangible, limited, and their stories only grow more compelling with time. Another interesting aspect of the 1972 Kennedy half is its role in everyday commerce. Though technically still legal tender, Kennedy half-dollars haven't been common in circulation for decades. Most Americans have never seen one used in a store. That rarity in everyday life adds to their mystique and helps drive collecting interest, especially among younger generations seeing them for the first time. And let's not forget about the thrill of storytelling. Every collector who owns a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, especially a rare variety, has a story. Where they found it, how long they searched, the dealer they outbid, or the childhood coin collection they rediscovered.